Go ahead and place another multi-state block in the scene, and we'll go ahead and go back into it. So we've already looked at the block, the solid, and the secret block in terms of its properties for movement and scaling and timing on it. The next one is going to be the breakable. Now the breakable is a little bit more complicated just in terms of the setup. Main reason is what you'll wind up getting. I'm going to move it to the front here with offset, and if you notice sometimes my cursor will be here but this moves. I'm just using my arrow keys to do the selection for me. This one is basically setting up the piece as to where it's going to be when the initial break happens. It's actually quite important if you decide you want colliders on, then you don't want all the objects colliding and penetrating each other. Otherwise, you can have them just around. So we'll cycle through each one. Notice, we'll actually just do a, we'll move all of these in front so you can see them. There we go. So each piece on here is going to represent where and what the piece is going to break. And then each one is going to be in a different position and a different scale. So you can change all of them into different ones if you want to do it that way. Then for the break ID, you can actually change each one to a collider and turn the collider on. You also have a vertex count. Vertex count is just going to create collision geometry, and it's going to create it as close as it can to the shape you have based on the vertex count you use. It's going to be little points going in between each spot. You're going to have a physics object, whether or not you want the object to actually break and fall or just break and float. And then based on the amount of weight you're adding to it is going to determine how much it's going to fall and how quickly. And then the last thing for the multi-state is going to be the exploding force. By default, if you have it set for about here, the main part, the little yellow, is actually going to be showing you this is going to be where the explosion starts. So if you place it below the brick when you hit it this way, it'll actually blow more upward to down. But you can also go in and you can place it above. Say for instance you're walking along and you want to pound down onto one and break it downward. Then you can have it where the explosion force is here going downward in that direction. Alright, and then the other options for it is just how much in terms of the extra force being applied to it, and you're able to apply it that way as well. Alright, so this can be all of the parts and pieces to the multi-state break on it, and we'll do a quick visual of it here. So if you notice when it hits here, there you go. So it goes upward slightly and then falls back down.